The silence was deafening as federal courtroom doors swung open to reveal the most dramatic meltdown in legal history. Sean "Diddy" Combs, the man who had controlled everything from boardrooms to recording studios with an iron fist, completely lost it when his former assistant took the stand and spoke the words that shattered his entire defense strategy. Security guards moved closer as Diddy's composure cracked under the weight of revelations that nobody expected. But what secrets had his most trusted employee been carrying all these years? What did she know about the alleged empire of control and coercion that could send him away forever? The explosive testimony that followed didn't just change the case, it exposed a web of manipulation so intricate that even seasoned prosecutors were left speechless as the truth finally emerged. The reality of courtroom disruptions. Federal courtrooms maintain strict decorum and security protocols designed to prevent disruptions during legal proceedings, particularly in high-profile cases involving defendants facing serious charges who might have emotional reactions to testimony. Sean "Diddy" Combs has appeared in federal court multiple times since his September 2024 arrest on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. Each appearance has been closely monitored by court security personnel and U.S. Marshals. Defendant reactions to damaging testimony can range from visible distress to outbursts that require intervention from court security. Though federal judges have broad authority to maintain order and can remove disruptive defendants from courtrooms if necessary, the psychological pressure of facing potential life imprisonment while listening to testimony from former associates and employees can overwhelm defendants who have maintained control throughout their professional lives but find themselves powerless in federal proceedings. Questions arise about how defendants in high-stakes federal cases manage emotional reactions to testimony that could determine whether they spend the rest of their lives in prison, particularly when testimony comes from individuals they trusted. Assistant testimonies in federal cases. Former employees and personal assistants often possess crucial information about defendants' business operations, personal habits, and activities that might be relevant to federal criminal charges, making their testimony particularly valuable to prosecutors. Personal assistants typically have access to schedules, communications, financial transactions, and private activities that other witnesses might not observe, providing prosecutors with detailed information about defendants' daily operations and decision-making processes. The credibility of assistant testimony often depends on their length of employment, level of access to defendants' activities, and ability to provide specific details that can be corroborated through other evidence such as documents, recordings, or witness accounts. Federal prosecutors often grant immunity or plea agreements to former employees in exchange for truthful testimony, providing incentives for cooperation while protecting witnesses from prosecution for their own potential involvement in alleged criminal activities. Legal experts note that employee testimony can be particularly damaging because it often includes intimate details about defendants' behavior and statements that demonstrate intent, knowledge, and participation in alleged criminal enterprises. The power dynamics of celebrity employment. Working for high-profile entertainment industry figures often involves complex power dynamics where employees may witness inappropriate behavior but feel unable to report or leave due to career concerns, financial dependence, and industry influence. Personal assistants to celebrities frequently sign extensive non-disclosure agreements designed to prevent them from sharing information about their employers' private lives, business operations, or personal activities with media outlets or law enforcement. The entertainment industry culture often normalizes behaviors that might be considered inappropriate or illegal in other professional environments, creating situations where employees may not immediately recognize criminal activity or may feel pressured to ignore concerning behaviors. Questions arise about what former employees of entertainment figures might observe during their employment and whether they feel safe reporting illegal activities when their careers and financial security depend on maintaining positive relationships with powerful industry figures. The isolation and loyalty demands placed on celebrity employees can create environments where witnesses to criminal behavior feel unable to come forward until legal proceedings provide protection and incentives for truthful testimony. Psychological pressure in federal proceedings. Defendants in federal cases often experience intense psychological stress when former associates provide testimony that contradicts their expected loyalty and reveals information that could result in lengthy prison sentences. The betrayal felt by defendants when trusted employees cooperate with federal authorities can trigger emotional reactions that exceed normal courtroom behavior, particularly when testimony includes intimate details about private activities and decision-making processes. Criminal psychology research reveals that individuals accustomed to control and power often struggle with the powerlessness of federal proceedings where they cannot influence witnesses or control information being revealed about their activities. The accumulation of damaging testimony over multiple court sessions can create mounting pressure that affects defendants' emotional regulation and ability to maintain composure during proceedings where their future is being determined. Federal court security personnel are trained to recognize signs of escalating emotional distress in defendants and have procedures for managing situations where individuals might become disruptive due to psychological pressure. Conspiracy theories around celebrity assistance. The entertainment industry has long been subject to speculation about what personal assistants and employees witness while working for powerful figures, with theories ranging from financial improprieties to personal scandals and criminal activities. Social media platforms amplify theories about what celebrity employees might know about their employers' private lives, creating narratives that often exceed factual information and venture into speculation about criminal behavior or industry conspiracies. The secrecy surrounding celebrity employment relationships, enforced through NDAs and industry loyalty expectations, creates information gaps that conspiracy theories often attempt to fill with speculation about hidden activities or criminal enterprises. Former employees of entertainment figures have occasionally made public statements or written books that reveal concerning behaviors, though distinguishing between credible accounts and sensationalized claims requires careful evaluation of evidence and corroboration. Questions arise about what information celebrity employees actually possess versus what conspiracy theories suggest they might know about alleged criminal activities or industry cover-ups. The alleged inner circle operations. Federal prosecutors in the Diddy case have described alleged operations involving multiple employees, associates, and participants who facilitated activities that prosecutors characterize as part of a criminal enterprise spanning years of entertainment industry operations. The indictment references various individuals who allegedly participated in or witnessed activities related to the charges, suggesting that prosecutors have developed testimony from multiple sources about enterprise operations and defendant behavior. Conspiracy theories suggest that entertainment industry figures often operate with loyal inner circles who facilitate questionable activities while maintaining public facades. Though separating fact from speculation requires examination of actual evidence rather than industry rumors, the alleged scope of enterprise operations described in federal charges suggests coordination among multiple participants who would have knowledge of activities, decision-making processes, and operational details relevant to criminal allegations. Legal experts wonder whether testimony from inner circle members might reveal systematic patterns of behavior that demonstrate criminal intent and enterprise operations rather than isolated incidents that could be explained as misunderstandings. Federal evidence building strategies. Federal prosecutors often build cases methodically by securing cooperation from lower-level participants before targeting primary defendants, creating situations where former employees become crucial witnesses in complex criminal enterprise cases. The strategy of starting with employee testimony allows prosecutors to establish patterns of behavior, document decision-making processes, and demonstrate enterprise operations through witnesses who had direct access to defendants' activities. Prosecutors typically corroborate employee testimony with physical evidence, financial records, communications, and other witnesses to create comprehensive cases that are difficult for defendants to dispute or explain away through alternative narratives. The psychological impact on defendants of watching former employees provide detailed testimony about their activities can be devastating, particularly when testimony reveals information that defendants believed would remain private. Questions arise about what specific information former Diddy employees might possess about business operations, personal activities, and decision-making processes that could support federal charges or reveal additional criminal activities. The entertainment industry's culture of silence. The entertainment industry has historically maintained cultures of silence around inappropriate behavior by powerful figures, with employees, associates, and industry participants often reluctant to report criminal activities due to career concerns and industry pressure. Personal assistants and employees of entertainment figures often witness behaviors that might constitute criminal activity but feel unable to report due to NDAs, career dependencies, and industry cultures that prioritize loyalty and discretion over legal compliance. The #MeToo movement and increased federal scrutiny of entertainment industry figures have encouraged more employees and associates to come forward with information about inappropriate or criminal behavior they witnessed during their employment. Federal investigations provide legal protections and incentives that can overcome industry pressure for silence, allowing witnesses to provide testimony without fear of retaliation or career destruction that might result from speaking out independently. The breaking of industry silence through federal proceedings often reveals patterns of behavior that were known within industry circles but never officially reported or addressed through legal channels. Alleged patterns of control and manipulation. Federal charges against Diddy include allegations of operating a criminal enterprise that involved control and manipulation of individuals through various means including financial dependence, career influence, and intimidation tactics. Conspiracy theories about entertainment industry control mechanisms suggest that powerful figures use employment relationships, career opportunities, and industry influence to maintain silence about inappropriate or criminal behavior. The alleged enterprise operations described in federal charges suggest systematic approaches to controlling information, managing witnesses, and maintaining loyalty among employees and associates who might otherwise report criminal activities. Employee testimony in federal cases often reveals how control mechanisms operate in practice, including financial manipulation, career threats, and psychological pressure designed to ensure loyalty and silence from potential witnesses. Questions arise about what specific control and manipulation tactics former employees might describe in testimony and how such tactics might demonstrate criminal intent and enterprise operations rather than normal business relationships. Witness protection and cooperation incentives. Federal witness protection programs provide security and relocation services for individuals who provide testimony against powerful defendants who might pose threats to witnesses or their families. The fear of retaliation from entertainment industry figures or their associates can prevent employees from reporting criminal activities, making federal protection and cooperation incentives crucial for encouraging truthful testimony. Cooperation agreements often include immunity from prosecution for witnesses' own potential criminal activities, reduced sentences, and financial support that help former employees transition away from dependency on defendants who employed them. The psychological support provided to federal witnesses includes counseling services and legal advocacy designed to help individuals overcome trauma related to their experiences and the stress of providing testimony against former employers. Legal experts note that the effectiveness of federal cooperation programs often determines whether cases involving powerful defendants can successfully prosecute criminal enterprise activities that rely on employee loyalty and silence. Media coverage and public speculation. High-profile federal cases generate intense media coverage that often focuses on dramatic courtroom moments, defendant reactions, and witness testimony that provides insights into previously private activities and relationships. Social media amplification of courtroom developments can create viral content around defendant reactions and witness testimony, though actual courtroom footage is typically limited by federal court recording restrictions. Public speculation about what former employees might reveal in testimony often exceeds factual information available through official court proceedings, creating narratives that may not accurately reflect actual witness accounts or evidence. The entertainment industry's response to employee testimony against prominent figures often includes discussions about industry culture, accountability, and the effectiveness of legal proceedings in addressing systemic issues. Questions arise about how media coverage might influence public perception of cases and whether extensive coverage of courtroom drama overshadows the legal issues and evidence that determine case outcomes. The impact on entertainment industry culture. Federal prosecutions involving entertainment industry figures often serve as catalysts for industry-wide discussions about appropriate behavior, employee protection, and accountability for powerful individuals who may have operated with limited oversight. The success of employee testimony in federal cases can encourage other industry workers to report inappropriate or criminal behavior they have witnessed, creating momentum for broader accountability and cultural change. Industry organizations and professional associations often implement new policies and training programs in response to high-profile prosecutions that reveal systemic issues with employee treatment and workplace conduct. The precedent of successful prosecutions based on employee testimony can deter other industry figures from engaging in criminal activities while encouraging companies to implement better oversight and protection for workers. The broader implications include potential changes in how entertainment companies structure employment relationships, implement oversight mechanisms, and respond to reports of inappropriate behavior by executives and talent. Looking toward case resolution. The outcome of employee testimony in the Diddy case will likely influence how future federal investigations approach entertainment industry criminal enterprises and the role of witness cooperation in achieving successful prosecutions. Federal prosecutors' ability to secure convictions based on employee testimony may establish precedents for how similar cases are investigated and prosecuted, with implications for industry accountability and employee protection. The psychological and legal strategies employed by defendants facing damaging employee testimony often determine whether cases result in convictions, plea agreements, or other outcomes that affect both individual defendants and industry culture. Questions remain about how the entertainment industry will adapt to increased federal scrutiny and whether employee testimony in high-profile cases will encourage broader cultural changes in how industry figures conduct business and treat employees. The resolution of this case may provide important lessons about the effectiveness of federal prosecutio strategies, the value of employee cooperation, and the potential for legal proceedings to address systemic issues in entertainment industry culture. If you're as shocked by these courtroom revelations as we are, go ahead and like this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think former employees have a responsibility to report criminal activities they witness, even when it might end their careers? How do you balance workplace loyalty with legal and moral obligations? We want to hear your perspective on the complex dynamics between powerful employers and the employees who witness their private activities. Then hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our coverage of this explosive case and its implications for entertainment industry accountability. Thanks for watching.